So you're thinking about moving to northern Colorado, but you're not quite sure where to start. Now in this video, you're going to learn exactly how to find your perfect home in the absolute perfect town for you, of course, with all the insider tips sprinkled along the way. What's up, beautiful people? My name is Noah, your Northern Colorado real estate and lifestyle expert, and welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. I'm going to share in today's video the exact formula I use to help my clients in the decision-making process when they are coming from out of state and moving to Colorado. Now, like most people relocating, including myself, they really don't know much about what they're getting into or what area is going to work out best for them. And by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly how to go through the process from start to finish in terms of finding the best town and the best home for you when you finally decide to make the move to Colorado. Now, I have gone through this exact same system, which I'm going to cover with you today on every single Zoom call I do with my clients who are relocating from out of state. And at the end of the call, I always get some really great feedback about how helpful it was. And you know what? I realized there are a lot of viewers out there who also probably could use the same direction and same guidance. So this is what we're doing today. You better grab a notepad or your phone, because this video is not about consuming information. It's about helping you create clarity. And when you are clear on what exactly is going to work out best for you, you are confident. And when you are confident, trust me, the process is a lot less stressful. So let's jump in and break everything down. Now we're going to start out this video with talking about your priorities. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Noah, come on, I know about my priorities. We're gonna break it down in detail for you, and there are gonna be two particular topics that we're going to cover. It is your professional priorities versus your personal priorities. And those might have you going in opposite directions as far as when you're looking at what neighborhood and what town is going to work out best for you. And this is going to be an exercise to help you break things down so you can narrow in on exactly what's going to work out best for you right here in Northern Colorado. So let's talk about your professional priorities. These are going to be things like where you work and how much you are willing to commute to work. Now, if you are working obviously in, let's say, Longmont, there are going to be many other areas that you can live in that might fit your personal priorities a little bit better. And let me explain. Let's say you work at one of the hospitals here in Longmont, but you really enjoy a little bit more space. You want to have some land. So you might be looking at some of the areas outside of Longmont because that fits your personal priorities a little bit better. So you're going to take on a little bit more time in the car commuting to work for the trade-off of having your personal priorities met with a little bit of land. I also know people who work in Longmont but live in Erie, they live in Berthoud, they live in Firestone or Frederick because it fits some of their priorities a little bit better. Now, on the flip side of professional priorities, you're going to have personal priorities, which might be the fact that, hey, you really like to go skiing, or you really like to go hiking or trail running, and those personal priorities might take precedence over your professional priorities. Like, hey, I want my son or daughter to go to XYZ school because they offer the best acting programs, or they have the best football programs, or they have the best academic programs. You are going to have to make a choice between whether or not you want to be close to work to minimize your commute time, or you are going to look at the personal priorities of having your children in the exact school that you want to. Now, I do want to talk about this because Longmont does have open enrollment, which means that you can enroll your kid in any school that you want to as long as they are not full. We have several people who commute to our school, which my daughter and my son Ziggy go to Twin Peaks Classical Academy. There are people that literally commute an hour to drop their kids off at this school because they have identified it as something that they really want for their children. So obviously that ranks very high on their personal priorities, and they're giving up some professional priorities because they know that they are going to have to spend a lot more time in the car. So you can see as we break these down that there's going to be a balance or a give and a take on exactly what is going to work out best and which one of these towns and neighborhoods is going to fit your professional and your personal priorities the best. best. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take out a pen and a piece of paper right now. I want you to write down your top priorities, whether that's proximity to work, family, lifestyle, or access to the Rocky Mountains. Put them all down on a piece of paper, and that is going to help you triage what really is important to you. And once you do that, you're going to have the clarity that you're looking for. This is going to be a great time for you guys to take down my cell number or shoot me a phone call or text message at 720-741-7474. I am the only one who answers all the questions from viewers just like you. Now let's hop in and talk about what your personal living situation is. Now these are going to be a list of home details, which we're going to call non-negotiables, or the things you absolutely must have, and negotiables, which are going to be things that would be nice to have. Now these requirements are going to be based on the home's size, condition, and obviously the location of these properties. So I want to give you a quick example or scenario of this. Let's say that you have a family of 5, right? You've got 2 adults and 3 kids. And obviously we are going to prioritize size of the home, and we are going to maybe prioritize condition of the home, because you don't have enough time to rehab the home and make it the way you want to. You're moving here from out of state, you start your job. So you are going to prioritize a home that is going to be move-in ready and obviously going to be the proper size. Now, one of the other things to think about is what we talked about previously, which is going to be proximity, or balancing your priorities between what the home has to offer you and your family, what you need in that home, and the actual proximity or geographical location of that property. Now, all of these are going to act like a little dial. And what we want to do with this exercise is we want to determine the correct balance of exactly what you're looking for. So that way I can go through this process with you and help you find the exact neighborhood and the exact town that's gonna fit your needs the best. And what we want to be very cautious of is not necessarily looking at homes, but looking at exactly what geographical location is going to work best for you to balance those needs. Then we will move on to finding you the perfect home once we've identified the perfect location. Now, one of the things that I often talk about with people is what their expectations are. And most of those expectations are going to be based off of budget. So we need to prioritize exactly what matters most to you and adjust your expectations based on your personal budget and financial situation. Now, this gets sometimes a little bit difficult because everybody wants to move here and move right into their dream home. The reality of this is it happens for basically nobody. This process is all about diving in and creating exact clarity, because I'm going to tell you right now, even people who tell me they're shopping for their dream house, they're gonna live there forever, trust me, they're not, because family dynamics change, finances change. If you get a 10% raise at work over the next 5 years, you're probably gonna wanna move up to a nicer house, or you're going to develop a different lifestyle while living here that is gonna just take you a different direction. Now, while we're diving through and we're wading through all of these questions, one of the things we need to talk about as well is what your neighborhood preference and how your lifestyle is going to fit into that. And I want to give you 2 different examples here. I have some clients that moved to Colorado that really want an extremely quiet, secluded place where they don't have any interruptions, versus other people who move here and want to be involved in the shopping, the events, and be really close to dining and restaurants. So your neighborhood preference, once you've identified the town, is going to come down to what type of lifestyle preferences that you and your family have. Now, if you plan to visit Colorado before your move, I do want to give you some really good tips. Now, if you were looking to relocate to Colorado, my guess is that you want to come check out the towns and the neighborhoods. And after doing this exercise today, you're gonna know exactly what's gonna work best. And of course, you know that you can give me a call to help you identify certain areas or certain neighborhoods. So what you want to do is you want to plan for at least 3 days here in Colorado. Colorado, you want to use 2 days to explore the neighborhoods and towns, and 1 day for some stinking fun activities. You might want to head up to Estes Park, Boulder, or you might want to hit up some of the beautiful local hikes that are available in the area. You might also want to take some time to stop and explore some of the delicious locally brewed beer and some of our culinary. So after your visit, one of the things that I see people like maybe making a small mistake on is they're so concerned about the home versus being concerned about actually vetting the neighborhood. Let me tell you, you can change absolutely anything about a home besides the geographical location and neighborhood that it's actually in. So I'm going to give you a couple of insider tips on how to vet these neighborhoods to make sure that it meets your needs. Now, before you can narrow down a neighborhood, you need to narrow down from the multiple cities and areas that are available to, I would say, about 3. And what you want to do is, based on the list that you created from previously taking notes in this video, is that you can call me and we can narrow down the towns to maybe 2 or 3 towns that are going to fit your professional and personal lifestyle needs the best. Then we can go ahead and dive in to the different neighborhoods. Now, the pro tip here when you are looking at finding the perfect neighborhood is we need to do a little bit of recon. So you can visit the local grocery stores to gauge what demographic is in the neighborhood. You can also drive through the neighborhoods at different times of the day. So go cruise through the neighborhood during the morning, afternoon, or evening. You're going to look for quietness, different activity levels, and what types of residents there are. If you don't like kids, go drive through the neighborhood at 2:30 or 3 o'clock when school gets out. And if the neighborhood's crawling with kids and that's just something you're not into, that's a pretty clear indicator that we need to move on to a different neighborhood. Or vice versa. If you have kids, you might be like, oh my gosh, this neighborhood is absolutely perfect. Look at all these kids. So after you drive through the neighborhood throughout a couple of different times, this next pro tip is my absolute favorite and is gonna give you the most value when you are vetting a town or a neighborhood. Is you wanna go to an area of interest when people are getting off work from about 4:30 to 6:30 and get out of your car. Go for a walk just like they are and stop and talk to people. Say, hey, we're thinking about moving into this neighborhood or town. How long have you lived here? They're gonna tell you, oh, I've lived here for 15 years. The neighborhood is amazing, except for Dawn down the street works on cars at 6:30 in the morning every Saturday, and it's loud and it's irritating. The people that live in these areas have a very intimate knowledge of the inner workings of the neighborhood in the town, and is gonna be able to provide you value that even I can't, because I can't live in every single neighborhood or every town in the Front Range. Now, one of the other things I want to talk about, which might seem kind of silly, is the consideration of transportation. Well, northern Colorado is not necessarily known for a strong public transportation, so you are more than likely going to need a car. And let me tell you, your Toyota Prius or Honda Civic might not cut it when it comes to winter driving, because we do have some special conditions here, especially when you get up to the mountain. Now you might be telling me, hey, well, we're not living in the mountains. Guess what? You're gonna make friends that might, and if they invite you over for Thanksgiving or a holiday, your vehicle might not be able to make it up to their home. Because in a lot of these areas and regions, when we're talking about rural Colorado and mountainous Colorado, the roads here are not maintained. So if you're looking to move here, that's something that you might want to put on your radar, is just making sure that you have a capable vehicle that has all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, so you can make it to all the school events, you can make it to work, and you are going to be a lot less stressed when finding the right location to live. Now, one of the other things that I talk about on these Zoom calls, which most people don't think about, are going to be what type of amenities that are going to fit your need. And obviously we're talking about the proximity to shopping, dining, and different activities that can actually impact your neighborhood of choice. Because there's going to be more remote areas that are actually going to lack quick access to stores, but offer larger lots and a quieter living. And that's where going through this video and exercise is gonna help you determine what works out the best for you. Now, above and beyond amenities, we also have what type of living activities and what the heck do you enjoy? Because if you ask me, being close to Safeway is not as important to being close to the mountains, because we as a family get to go enjoy a lot of hiking, biking, nature, and camping. And so when we were doing this on our list, being closer and having access to the mountains was just more important to us than being close to restaurants, bars, and the grocery store. Now that might be totally opposite for you, and that's okay. Now, one of the next things we talk about in the Zoom calls is what your budget is and what the property taxes are and how that's going to impact your budget. Because property taxes here in Colorado range between 0.5% and go all the way up to 1.2% of the home's purchase price. And the reason that is because we have special DPA tax districts and metro districts. The municipality of the city borrows money to the developers. The developers lay the infrastructure for developing and building those new homes, and then they have a higher tax level to pay back the municipality. Now, it's different from wherever you're coming from, but it's something that I just talk to people about. So you're not looking at this home, you're looking at the purchase price, you're doing the calculations, and then all of a sudden you find out that it has a 1.2% tax. That's going to add between $600 and $800 a month to your house payment. Trust me, it's a bummer. That's why we're talking about it right now. Now, if you guys are watching this video, you're like, hey, all this information's great. I do have an app that I can send you. All you have to do is go ahead and shoot me a text message, 720-741-7474. Say, Noah, I watch your YouTube videos. Can you please send me the app you were talking about that is going to show me all of the homes with the proper information and also give me mortgage calculators? Because your budget is going to play a large role in exactly what neighborhood and what town is going to get you the most home for your money. Now, the next thing we discuss on the call is the importance of getting you connected to a local lender. It is one of the most important things that I can do because it's going to help you create clarity, financial clarity that will help you create confidence and obviously point us in the right direction when we're looking at the different towns and neighborhoods that might fit your needs. And if you want to be connected to one of my local lenders, it's really simple. Just reach out. You guys know the drill. We'll get you connected, and you're not saying you're going to buy a house. You're not saying that you're going to take out a loan. You're not even saying you're going to move to Colorado. It just really helps people understand what loan programs are out there and what those monthly payments are going to be. And those tools help me to find you the absolute right home. So now I've got some homework for you guys. If you've been following along with this video, please write down your personal priorities. Write down your professional priorities. Write down your must-haves or your non-negotiables and your nice-haves or things that are 100% negotiable to you purchasing a home. You want to consider your lifestyle factors, your budget, proximity to nature, and what your particular personal needs are. All of this information is going to help us boil down and focus on the exact location that is going to fit your needs the best. And once we narrow down on that location, it's my job to help you find the absolute perfect home. Now, if you want to connect for a personal deep dive in exactly what areas, what towns, and what homes are going to work out best for you, all you have to do is shoot me a text or a phone call. We'll set up a Zoom call and dive into this specifically for you. And if you want a more in-depth look at the Colorado real estate contract and how to move here the absolute easiest way, go check out this video right here where I break down my out-of-state buying system, which is the absolute easiest and stress-free way to relocate to northern Colorado. Remember, stay adventurous, my friends. I'll see you in the next video.